Ladies and gentlemen, all arounds and in-betweenies, we are gathered here today for the sake of aspiring community, for the sake of recognizing family. What is one of the first things we learn, whether on the road or on the street? Friends are family. Take a look around, take a good look around. Friends meet family. Now that we're established, lies the age-old question, what is family good for? Well, let me answer this question with another question. What can I do for you? How can I help? The JB Weld, the duct tape, if you will, that'll keep a community together through thick and thin. And the lack thereof is the reason we don't depend on an economy, so be it. The doctor has prescribed something new. The Revolujahs and the Medicine Show Revival. Now, just a little bit of a recap. This is video number 2. The first one being a call to action, and kind of more or less vague, and just explaining that I have this vision in my head. And now what I'd like to do is expand on that vision. We're going to call this the Revolujahs 101. You've had that introduction. Let's get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty. Again, I'll do my best to keep it within 20 minutes. We might go a little over, but there I expect and anticipate to have many videos similar to this, so that we can round out this vision that I have. And already I'm stoked that after making that first video, we've got people that are reaching out and saying, "You got something there. Let's work on it." Um, so I want to get a little wooey, if you don't mind, for a moment, and just set some intentions. And what I'd like from this video is, one, to expand on this idea and have people get a better vision of what I'm sharing. I would like to find my partners and my support group in this. I'm looking forward to, again, making a living off of this, but more so through this, making a living off of sharing my wealth. And I do anticipate and expect, through this vision, I want to build a uh, more than a network. I want to build a resilient opportunity to build a job market out of making dreams come true. And so again, this is the Revolujahs and the Medicine Show Revival. Um, again, I'm addressing moonshot on that last video. Another intention is to elegantly and even better describe what the vision is. The last vision, I only had so much amount of time, and it was just a vague, brief, dip your toe in the water. And now you're watching this second video. It's because you're seeing that the water's inviting. Um, and this is only number 2. I expect to have multiple of these, and be doing these videos until people start to have this shared vision, so that we can start formulating it into something that works for everybody. um, and then in regards to intentions, setting the intentions, I want to do another callback to that last video. I said, if you're listening to this, I want you to listen to it with a kind of ambition to find out how this could work for you. What could you get out of this? So while you're listening to it, whether it's a job in making dreams come true, or an opportunity to travel wherever you want, whenever you want, and be surrounded by people that are supporting you and doing whatever you want, or whether it's the opportunity to take a vacation now and then, or whatever you could possibly want, making an impact on the national debt or whatever. I want you to listen with an anticipation that maybe through the Revolujahs and the Medicine Show revival, you might find an avenue to getting what you want out of life. Um, so just a recap. Last time we spoke about the Revolujahs and the Medicine Show revival. It was a very brief description. It was there's four moving parts to this. We have the CCC, the Consultation and Clerical Crew. We've got the Revolujahs, which is network of properties around the country that render us never far from somewhere we can genuinely feel at home. I like to call it the ideal retirement plan, which is go where you want, when you want, do what you want, be surrounded by community everywhere you go. Then we have the Revolujahs. The Revolujahs are literally building the dreams. The Revolujahs is a nomadic construction company, and their business is essentially barn raises. After the CCC, after a piece of property with a vision and a mission, get a hold of the CCC and say, "Hey, this is what I want to achieve," and the CCC and the property owner get together and say, "Okay, this is doable." They then send in the Revolujahs. The Revolujahs brings the material and the skill, while the CCC takes care of the insurance, the licensing, the permitting, uh, and the Revolujahs brings in the tools and everything else, and literally builds up the property in accordance to the agreement between the CCC and the property owner, and they make it a reality. And then finally, the Medicine Show revival. The Medicine Show revival comes in as a caravan. It's essentially a circus, and they put on a week long festival that is educational workshops during the day and free entertainment in the evening, mostly free, that bring out the locals. What this does is it provides an opportunity for the locals to come together and be a part of something together. We are sharing educational opportunities, which creates for some amount of possibility for community resilience built together. And we also, it brings attention to the property that the Revolujahs just built up and their mission, and puts them on the map in that community, in that geographical area, to uh, to be a resource for the people and in that area and the people passing through that area that are participating in the network that is the Revolujahs. So this is the Revolujahs and the Medicine Show revival. Now, I understand that there's a certain amount of this that sounds like fantasy, and I also want you to understand that it's supposed to. Um, and while it seems very fantastical and far fetched, I do hold firm to the possibility that we can have our cake and eat it too. I don't know if you're familiar with Abraham Hicks and more potentially fantastical or even superstitious stuff, but I really liked the quote that Abraham Hicks just put out. It says, if you can want it, you can have it," and I believe that that's why not. How bland would the toast be if you you couldn't have your butter and jam on it, or your salt or whatever you wanted to put on it. So if you can have it, you want it. I hold firm to that possibility. And in regards to this being a fantastical vision, and to far fetched to somebody who would not be a believer that we could we can pull it off. I want to say that this is exactly why I'm requesting the involvement of inspired individuals, because I don't have all the answers. You know, I have so many answers, and I'm confident that more answers will be showing themselves to me, and I'm confident that, as I've been working on this for the last 12 years, it's going to take more and more shape as we go along, and I feel like we're coming to a head on it, and so I'm jumping on as if this is a responsibility of mine to share this vision and do my part in making sure that this is available for everybody, that it could make a beautiful impact for. So I'm going to share this concept. I'm trying to get that light out of the background there. I'm going to share this concept. I want it clear that I'm not Christian, um, and I may have some spiritual views, but this may also be a good opportunity to share with you that thus far in the Revolujahs, we have one rule, and that rule is tolerance. To create a world where we're all of free to express ourselves and pursue our dreams and our passions limitlessly. Something to create a world where we all have that is something that we need to take into consideration. Is this world, we're not going to be able to create it unless we take on tolerance as a rule. Tolerance of one another, tolerance of our beliefs, tolerance of this, that, and the other, and where we're not met with tolerance equally, we have the opportunity to disengage and surround ourselves with what we want, that support network that we need and want to be able to continue living our lives the way we want. So let's say join me, if you will, just in a concept that there a superstition, if you will, hypothetical, that there's this God thing out there, and this God thing, whether it's out there or whether it's in here, this God thing made man in their image, in its image, and in that image. I would like to explore that concept in a way that said, when we are happiest and and most satisfied in life is when that thing, whether it's external or internal or whatever have you, is being expressed to its fullest. And so to live this life in the best and most ideal fashion, what we want is that foundation for this hypothetical God to consistently be allowed the space and the opportunity to be expressed. And so that's what we're building here. I want for you and my family and me and everybody to have a safe space to be themselves and explore themselves fully. That's what I'm in this for. Um, so let's say how do we do this? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to dive back into the four parts, and I'm going to share. I'm just going to elaborate a little bit further on each one of them. Again, this is the Revolujahs and the Medicine Show Revival 101. So the consultation in the clerical culture, the CCC. Um, these are the people. I'm going to be honest. I'm not very good at paperwork, or I haven't in the past been very good at paperwork, and it's a little daunting to me. But I'm really good at action oriented things, getting up and going. Okay, well, let's make that happen right now. And so the constellation and clerical crew, these are the people that are going to be asking all the right questions. They say, Banjo, how do you anticipate we're going to be able to make a salaries for all of the Levoluyahs? And that's a great question, right? These are the people that are going to say, is this a really good idea to have a goat farm on this particular piece of property? And the people that can reach out and say, hey, these people want a goat farm, we need a goat farmer and somebody that's got experience that can show up and say, these are the missing elements. Or I want the consultation crew to say, hey, something we might not be taking into consideration is the zoning at this particular property, or the fact that it's a Indian burial ground. Um, you know, so we've got the consultation and clerical crew. We need brains of all sorts. Even tradespeople that can step forward and say, "Look, you're not going to be able to penetrate the ground here, or you really shouldn't even try, or if you build here, it's going to sink unless you build on top of empty 55-gallon drums." Um, so this is the consultation clerical crew. When we have a property owner that gets a hold of them and says, I would like to build a superhero summer camp. This is something I'd like to create. I'd like to build a superhero summer camp slash foster home on this 60 acres. I want the consultation crew to work with me to decide, this is why you can do this. This is a great idea, but these are the things that you are going to come up and why you won't be able to. The buildings you have here are outdated and are going to very soon need to be demolished and rebuilt. So on and so forth. Once the consultation and the consultation clerical crew have come to an agreement with this property owner, that's when the Levoluyahs come in. So the Levoluyahs, I anticipate seeing um, engineers and uh, builders, craftsmen, skilled tradespeople, and people looking for an education in these aspects to be in the field, traveling with their tools, showing up, and ready to hit this as if it were their job. Okay, we have 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever a month, whatever it calls for, to build this piece of property into the dream that this property owner has. They're coming with the supplies, so on and so forth. I personally would love to see a lumber mill, uh, mobile lumber mill that the Levoluyahs are traveling with, so that we can mill, harvest, and use the wood on that piece of property to build the dream. Now again, the CCC may come in and say, "Oh, you're not going to be able to pull that off without a kiln." Well, how do we get a kiln? You know, there's a lot to take into consideration there. But the Levoluyahs comes in, and um, they start producing this you know this dream to be able to build up that property. And here we are. Here is the question. Well, how do we make sure that these Levoluyas are getting paid what they're worth? One, we got the Revoluyahs who are paying their monthly tithings, $100 to $200 a month. And when people start seeing that this has more worth than their KOA membership, this has more worth than their AAA membership. This has more value than the cruise that they went on last year to to pitch in and pay their dues, their 10% or whatever have you, into the Revolujahs. I believe we can see the money coming in. But more than that, we also have opportunities for grants. You know, our mission statement again is empower, educate, entertain, and anywhere that can fall in, there are grants available. Performing arts on the street, teaching trades, free workshops. Even grants that can assist uh, veterans who are roadbound. Wherever we can tap a resource, I think it's only wise of us to do so. And that's not to mention the fact that really, I mean, if anybody here knows what Jersey Shore is, and anybody has dove in to watch an episode of Jersey Shore, or been stuck in the room while Jersey Shore was on, you could see the benefit of having uh, content creators traveling with the Levoluyahs. You could see the benefit of content creators traveling with the Medicine Show Revival and making content out of this. You're looking at people who can't live this life or feel like they can't live this life, watching from home, and what a benefit it would be to for Milwaukee or Norwood Lumber Mills or um, Home Depot or Habitat for Humanity to throw in a sponsorship, get their name out there, and say, "Yeah, we do good for the community. We assist in building the community." Ford, Chevy, whoever you are, bring on your sponsorships. We're building community. We can shave off some prices and make sure that these Levoluyahs who are making dreams come true are getting paid what they're worth. And at the end of it, they're getting paid what they're worth. But when they realize also that they've got a network of properties that they helped build, that they can travel amongst and never and always feel like they're never far from somewhere they can genuinely feel at home, or are somewhere they can genuinely feel at home, then that becomes well worth it. They got money to spare now. So we got the Levoluyahs who are essentially in the business of uh, building their dreams by doing barn raises, showing up and building up these properties in accordance to the drive, the passion, the vision, and the agreement between the property owner and the consultation and clerical crew. And then we have the Medicine Show Revival. And again, we said it. These are people who nomads, and I've been there myself. At our peak, we did this once before. At our peak, and this was 2012. We had 14 vehicles, give or take, on the road, and 60 heads, 60 people on the road. And wherever we stopped, we said, okay, we're stopping and we're making a beautiful impact on this place. And this was when we were chaotic and a little crazy, and it wasn't always that easy um, to herd these cats. But we would stop and we would pick up trash along the way, and we would play music on the street corners, and we would set up stages and curtains in the middle of a sidewalk, and put on a goofy little show, and we would take to the local establishments and venues, and put on shows there. It was an enriching experience for everybody that participated, and I still talk to the people that were in that, and they still talk about it. This was a network of or a network of people that traveled alongside each other, parallel to each other, and whenever we stopped, we had each other. We cooked for each other, and we made fun with each other, and we took care of each other. Even making sure that people were kicking when they were having a hard time kicking alcohol, and so on and so forth. This was a very live and active thing. Now, I don't have very much more time before this video cuts off, but it's really essential that we discuss, well, how do we keep everybody working in a functional manner? You say in 2012 it was really chaotic, and here's the thing: I want to see monthly tithing from everybody wanting to participate, but this is only one requirement of two that's going to allow you to be a member or a neighbor, or however we say that, in the Revolujahs. The other one, we have your monthly tithing. The other requirement of anybody, whether you're a Revolujah, part of the Medicine Show Revival, the other requirement that's absolutely 100% necessary, and it can be ever fluctuating, but we need your mission statement. I touched upon it a little bit, and I'll touch upon it again in the next video even more, is who you are, what you're about, how you want to serve a community, how you want a community to serve you, your wish list, your boundaries, and what you want to achieve. And this helps us. It helps us say, hey, I can see that you're a little off from your mission. How can I help you get back on course? Or it can say, hey, I can see that your mission is to help people with mechanics, and I'm having some trouble, and I don't know what to do about it. It opens up a world of opportunity of direction and opportunity for us to help each other out. With that, I really should close this out, but say thank you very much for tuning in. On the next one, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what the mission statements are about, because they're so essential for finding direction for a personal person. And the regulations are loose. I've had somebody show up and say my mission statement is to not have a mission statement, but when my vehicle says my mission is to get my family safely to the next destination in the pursuit of their passions, and to help people along the way, and somebody else comes up and says, well, my mission statement is to not have a mission statement, it says, okay, well, the people that are riding on this bus have direction, and you don't, so you won't be taking this ride. But good luck finding a ride that is taking passengers that have no direction. Likewise, if somebody says, hey, my mission is to get to the next destination safely in pursuit of my mission, then I can say, hey, welcome aboard. We're all here in support of that. With that being said, thank you very much for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, donate, all the things. I love you very much. This is Banjo Youngblood, the Friar Banjo, like the dog Youngblood, signing out. Cheers.